Hello, all. Welcome to Twinning Tuesday. So we're having the same internet problem again, but let me just tell you, we're not going to pay attention to that. I am Madam, and then I will allow the co-host for this segment, this segment to introduce herself and make her own special announcement.
Hello, everybody. It's Ro, aka Rose. How are you guys doing this Tuesday night?
Hungry.
I just ate me a salad before.
I just woke up at I woke up at 3 something. I had business to take care of, and then I was like, let me go to Albertsons real quick and get some crab legs and watermelon. I just walked in, chow, flew up the stairs, threw on a shirt, threw on the crab, threw on some lipstick. Hey, y'all. So I'm still hungry. So let's see. Tonight we are going to starting with hot topics. Here's the reason why. Because we pick our stuff in advance about what we're going to talk about. And then these hot topics just keep coming out. People have lost their damn mind. And so to split it up a little bit, we're going to start with a hot topic. Let me tell you why. Because it's too many this week. And we're not going to change the whole episode. Just did all this work on getting the stuff out and getting ready. But let me tell you. What do you think, Ro? And people in the comments while everybody is entering, welcome. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And then if you look in the notes, there's somebody else you should be subscribing to. So, what do you think about the son that, the man is no longer here, that he had to take care of for his mother? What do you think about that situation? And all charges have been dropped. I'm super grateful for that, but I do think some charges should have existed. So what do you think?
I think it was unfortunate. I feel like any child, any boy cousin, any male figure that would see somebody in their family getting socked in their head like he was doing, I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him having 2 twins left behind. I seen he had 2 twin daughters left behind. But as far as him, like they said, he went in for some chickens and went out with some wings. I don't feel sorry for him at all.
Now let me tell you something. Okay, this would be a great example of the difference between my show and my twin show. You see about wings and shit? You see? But I'm telling you, it's amazing, right? I love it.
But you know what I don't like about it? The only negative thing I don't like about it, I was so happy all the charges was lifted and everything. Yeah. But I do not like that she filed that lawsuit today. I don't like it. And I had mixed opinions about this. Like my mom said, she feel like she should. I feel like she should, because at the end of the day, they still got away with murder, because him shooting him at first, that was self-defense. But then when he turned around and the man ran out and he shot him again, I forgot what they called that after that. So they still dropped all the charges. Y'all know if that was a different race, it would have been a whole nother situation. They would have still been in jail. So I feel like she should be happy that all those charges was dropped. So why wait until the next day after you've been released from jail to file a lawsuit against the city? Like, that's wild to me. I don't know. I wish if it was some lawyers and stuff on here to tell us, are they able to pick that case back up after they drop the charges? Like I feel, they not okay, so she good. But I still feel like she was better off to go.
It's a caveat. You can't file for that, but you could still file. And
that's the thing where I feel like she messed up. She shouldn't have put that lawsuit on there. Like, y'all just got out yesterday. Y'all don't know what they could do now. If anything, you was better off putting a GoFundMe up. Everybody would have to say you and your son need to move out of Chicago. I'm pretty sure they would have got millions of dollars, 100,000s or whatever, to relocate you, because everybody was on your side for what you did. But for you to file a lawsuit against this, I feel like that was wrong. But I do feel like any son would have did that. Like, I don't like men that fight women like that. And if he hit her like that, that's not his first time hitting a woman. And I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him at all. They said he was grieving or whatever. His grandma just died. Now you, well, I ain't even gonna say you with your grandma, because your grandma probably in heaven.
Well, hopefully he
You don't gotta grieve no more. You don't gotta grieve no more, because you ain't.
I think that it is I don't think they should have filed for a lawsuit either, because to your point, regardless to how we want to look at things, right? We all, this channel, us taking accountability, is about saying just because this happened doesn't mean you can do this. Like, some things go too far, right? So if he was hitting your mom, you could get him off of your mom. Did you have to murder him? And that's where things become gray. And you're right. You didn't necessarily have to get let out of jail, because did you do? You absolutely did. Could people argue that something else could have been done? People can, because we've seen it, right? We've seen things happen like this. I know somebody personally who was a 7 or 8, and they defended their mother, and they're in jail.
Really? So, for the same thing?
They're in jail. So things can happen. When it comes to our skin tone, they can apply the law very harshly. They can apply it exactly the way that it's written, no loophole, things like that, right? You can. Sometimes what you get out for is because how well a lawyer can argue it and position it and sell it, right? That's what it's all about. That's why people want the best attorney, and somebody that truly believes in what they are saying, because they can convey it. They can bring other things in. But to our point, there are plenty of cases where somebody just whistled at somebody and got killed, and the person was let off. You get what I'm agreeing with you. I don't understand why you would get out and
then do that.
What's the lawsuit for? What did they do to you? They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Even if someone were to come to our home and we killed them in self-defense, you on my property, I got cameras and all of that, I still am going to jail. I'm not going to be in jail. I'm going to be under arrest, right? And then they go in and they check everything, and that's when they say yes or no and let you out or whatever. But even in the very clearest case of self-defense, you're going to jail first, which is why people were in such an uproar that the Caucasian lady in Florida didn't go to jail right away while they looking at everything. She was sitting there until
you know, in Florida they have that law though. You know what I'm talking about.
You don't have to go to jail right away. You're still supposed to go to jail right away while they look at everything. Because what if I leave you out? What if I leave it where? And that's not supposed to happen. So the point of going right away is so that everything can be untouched, basically.
Well, we know with her, it was because it's the skin color. That's why I said that lady was lucky for her and her son for them charges to be dropped. Because I literally haven't seen nothing like that for no black people. So for y'all to get off, most of y'all, like, that was a miracle. And then you go around and do that. But I do feel like that any boy would do that for his mama. And they can't.
I don't think there's wrong with it.
Yeah, she had a concealed license to carry a gun. So
this gun is supposed to be. Mama told me I'm supposed to use this to protect us. How was I supposed to fight that man? How do you know that man wasn't on Sherm? For somebody to just be hitting on a woman like that, those type of things, like if a person is on drugs, they're not fighting regular. They're like superhero fighting. So what am I supposed to do? The quickest way I could think to get you off my mom, and I'm looking at her in this position where you're fighting her like she's a man and like you fighting for your life.
If he would have kept on hitting her, he could have killed her. He was hitting her in her head. Like, her. That was crazy. Like, when I first seen it, like, my stomach dropped. I'm like, damn. Like, you hitting that lady like a man. And now literally they're fighting. Now literally they're getting death threats and everything because they killed them. They got out. The family, they send it in whatever hood he from. They sending death threats now. So you is better off putting up a GoFundMe and you and your baby getting up out of there, starting y'all life somewhere else. I hate that they even showed that little boy face. Like, if that was another race, they would not have showed his face. No. He's only 14. You guys didn't need to show his face. I hate that they did.
We had this similar conversation, remember, about Floyd, when they showed the girl that actually caught the footage, and immediately she started getting death threats, couldn't finish her senior year. They had well, his family's home, the police officer's family's home. They had protection, and it was none for her. And she was scared, as she should be. And they trying to do interviews and stuff. They showed her face too, and I feel like that was a total disservice. It was a total disservice. How could you do that to her? But again, things look different for us. So, ma'am, I'm agreeing with you, Ro. For her,
I was mad. I was literally mad when I seen it. I was like, "Geez, you
would have donated to that."
Yeah, she was real. You being real ungrateful. I don't know what. I understand. So she said she filed the lawsuit because the pain and distress that the city put her and her son through by arresting her. But I didn't understand that. She was like, she should have never been. The reason why she filed the lawsuit is because she should have never been arrested. Her and her son should never have been arrested. So that's why she feels like she needs to do that.
And I shouldn't have to pay my life bill. I mean, if we could just make up our own shit. That's the problem that I think that's the donor. That's where I feel like our race needs to be held accountable. When there are things that do go right, we try to go in for the kill, and then that's when we get to talking like this and thinking we know shit. And here's the problem. I'm not saying you can't snap your neck. I'm not saying you can't be upset. What I'm saying is, at least do your research first to make sure that what you're doing and snapping your neck about is not how you feel, and it actually can go somewhere. Because a lot of Black people end up shooting their own damn self in the foot. First of all, motherfucker, you got a Black son. Why are you putting a target on your head like that? That's just the reality. That's just the reality, that he just got away with something that I totally think he should have been.
Yep.
We got a victory. I would have been good with that until your point. Let me get my baby up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my baby out of here. No, you thinking about whatever little financial gain that you could get. Meanwhile, it's a bounty on your head. And now you just did something else to say the police not even going to want to protect you. The police in Chicago barely come out to Black neighborhoods to protect Black people to begin with. And then you want to go and do this? It don't make no sense. It just don't. It don't for me either, Ro. But on to our topic about today, child, because the porn addiction is horrible. And do you know, this topic came from that I follow a real sex therapist there. That is a real thing. That's not just a Robbie Thicke song. Posted about the things that cause it, and the things that hurt relationships and people's growth from it. And so many people in the comments, no, it was Kanye West. The person was posting it, and it was what Kanye West was saying, that he's taking accountability now because he believes that his porn addiction from young, like, altered the way that he saw things and what should exist and things like that. And so people was like in the comments saying, "Oh, that's funny. Now you making up stuff, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, wait, this many adults don't know that porn addiction is real, and it's like real therapists you go to, and real like cures that people need and all of that. I didn't know that so many people don't know that that's real.
I didn't really think that it was an addiction either. I just thought that people I guess it could be an addiction where but like, is it? I've never met nobody that just had to watch it, like where they was.
Oh.
So I could never. When people will be like, "It's an addiction," like, how could watching that be an addiction? I can't.
Addiction? Okay, so think about it like this. You see how the girls that are on Instagram and men follow those pages, they eventually want you to look like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's it for porn addiction. So that's why when we say things like, this is damn near close to porn, how is this able to be out there? It's because it is. It's a fantasy. Exactly. It becomes a fantasy. It becomes like a video game. So the equivalent If anybody doesn't understand it, I'll start with, it's very similar to the effects that video games can have on people and kids. It creates a false reality, especially if you're young, which is why you shouldn't be on those games and say that they have to be 18 or this age. It's saying that because you're creating a false reality to believe that if I take a gun and I go shoot up this school, these people are coming back. I'm just doing it because I'm mad. That's what you do when you're mad. You go shoot everything up. That's what it is. It's a false reality, and it programs you the same way. The same way social media has programmed some women to think they need a certain body.
But porn is so nasty. Like that, the stuff they do in there, that's a fantasy. Like it looks fake. I'd rather watch a movie, a sex scene off a movie or something. It looks more realer than that porn stuff. Like it don't even look real. The people look like they faking and everything. Like
now, so imagine you know that now as an adult, but imagine you start watching it when you're 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's wow. I can't even imagine watching that stuff young like that. Like, what are you watching that for?
So before your brain is even formed, before you even have any idea of what love making is like, being in love, being exclusive, being monogamous, wanting a family, you see, that's fun. All these people came in and they have sex and they were drinking, whatever the setup is in that particular thing, they believe that's what it is. That is why there are some men that can't be monogamous, because I want these things, but I'm too embarrassed to tell my wife that I actually saw that on a, because I know this isn't reality. This is make believe. This isn't real. People don't do these things, or I want these things, but my wife is amazing. My wife is beautiful. My wife is a queen. That's a slut. That's a hoe, because that's what they're being called in the porn. So you totally disconnect from life, and you want all of these. You want the excitement of sex, when sex should be, for me, it's primarily to procreate. It's primarily to bond with your partner. Why you're not supposed to just be doing it with everybody. But that's not what these movies said. The movie said it's supposed to be for fun, and my homeboy can come in, and you can come in, and it's okay.
Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. I guess.
So when men are, we're wondering, where did you even get that from? Porn. There's some that can't. I know somebody that has such important addictions that at work they have to go into the bathroom, and it's a girl. It's not a girl.
What?
It's a girl. Mm-hmm. So if you overly please yourself, that also is bad.
Overly please yourself, that's an addiction too?
Masturbating? Yes. It is, because when you do things like that, penetration feels completely different.
That's why they say all the men be mad at women use these roses and all that stuff.
But they're not mad that they use their hands, and been using their hands since 5, which is why they can't stay faithful to us. They're not mad at that though. Again, they hide the shit that they do. Mm-hmm. But if we do something, we own it, we talk about it. It's like, what, we're just sharing. When they do stuff, they hide their shit. And as a result, do certain shit that don't make sense. And when we're asking, where's this coming from, or what are you doing? That's what happened. That's what my ex did. You lying. Nigga, you ain't had no ex that did all that. Stop playing. If you did, then watch your ex.
I seen something today basically on that. This lady was saying that when men cheat, it's because that's the way they were never meant to be with one woman.
Yes, they were.
So when they cheat, that's the reason why, because they wasn't meant to be with one woman. But then she was also saying that when they have wives and stuff, they don't want to treat their wives like prostitutes or the people they see in the porn. They want to do that with other women. But it's like, if that's your wife, she should be able to do that with you. So why not do it with your wife? You want to take chances on getting.
Your wife is not gonna let you stick a gerbil up her ass. That's why.
Yeah.
Your wife is not finna put a blunt in her vagina.
No.
Like it.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm like, okay, I'll take that back. Okay. Yeah.
So that's why I say, like.
But come on, that is just unreal. Is that okay? That must be an addicted person. Like,
girl, you know what? Okay, so I think we just hit something. You know the story of little Mo saying that she went up to Fab and was offering him a perk because of his song, and then he was okay. So in her mind, because she heard him singing that song, she thought that's how he was, and that's how she was. I'm trying to watch and see when we go off. That's how she thought that she was supposed to interact with him. Now these girls, what's the new one? Not Lotto, L-A-T-T, Lotto. I was watching her on Revolt on Carisha's show, and she was like, they're like, oh, you've been out there. She was like, no. Hold on. I just love being a mom, and I'm at home with my kids, and I don't even be out there like that. And I'm just.
Oh, Summer Walker. That was Summer Walker.
No, that was Lotto too. Lotto was. Yeah, she has one. The light one, right?
Uh-huh. The one that looks white?
Yes.
Okay.
She mentioning Lotto because Lotto sings about more explicit things, but the reality is she's loving being a mom at home with one man. But she's singing like she's out there.
Yeah, that's just like Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim said that too. Lil' Kim was like, y'all wouldn't even believe that I wasn't how I rap. Like, that's not even like me. She said it's a fantasy.
That's my point I'm making. The point I'm making is all these people are singing these songs because it was it or looking for a fantasy is locked into thinking because look at what just got it's not real. They're not really doing this shit. Even with their own partner, they're not doing the explicit stuff that they're talking about. Yeah, I just was about to say 𝒀𝒐𝒏 because look at what just got her tail in trouble. They're talking like you out there, any man that wants you better come up and snatch you up, but he came up and snatched you up.
And then now it's sexual harassment.
He didn't grab your tutu. He came and he did some stuff that you should have thought was romantic. He came up wanting to kiss you.
But did she say it was sexual harassment, or was everybody else that seen the video?
She didn't stop it. Yeah, she did. She actually made a post about it, and then she took her Instagram down saying she needed time. The very next day, she put it back up saying, I never want to contribute to taking a black man down and blah, blah, blah. You still not saying it as if I could see where my music would make him think that. So I'm not even tripping because it is what it is. He took charge, like I said. Why he wasn't speaking like that now, though?
In a couple of days before that, she was with DJ A1, Candy DJ, and he was saying the same stuff to her, like what he wanted to do to her, and he knew her stuff was good and everything because the way he was saying so much nasty stuff to her, she was at a loss for words. He was like, "Oh, what?" Like that.
But he didn't touch her.
He didn't touch her, but all the stuff she talked.
Why
he was like, I can't believe that you don't got nothing to say as much stuff as you be talking on your.
That's what you tell them in your music, and then you say, then you go as far as to say, this is the part I don't like. After she initiated with talk dirty to him, and not just that part. This is my problem. You talk about. This is where I don't like it. If you're talking about what you like. You also go out there and talk about if your woman a real bitch, she gonna do this. If your woman really loves you, she gonna do that. And any woman that's supposed to do, because I'm always do this for my man.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that what you say? So then when our man is looking at us like, but Suki driving down the street with a pussy hanging out the window, what do you mean you won't do this for me? And we looking like, because that's illegal and I got a career. And really, do we need to do all of that? But Suki's singing it, and then she got all these people making her TikToks, and they saying they do it. They're all lying. They ain't been on no date in the last year. They're lying. It's creating that false reality to sell money. I'm going to say
that too. Trina, all the people that talk the nastiest. Trina said that too.
The most reserved person ever. That's why
yes, the people that talk the worst. Trina was like, she is not even like that.
Trina don't do nothing. Trina don't do nothing. The most she do is drink. That's why I have loved Trina and started calling myself the Diamond Princess child. I think at like 21. But I saw an interview with her and I was like, well, if you put down music, I mean, that's fine. But
it's okay.
That was even still more regular. The stuff they said, put perks here, just a room full of people sucking a condom through your nose. Like,
what?
Girl. The worst thing I've ever been asked to do, and I actually thought it was quite entertaining. So if you like stuff, I believe you should have to be realistic. Some of these things are not realistic, and this is what ends up with sex led me to the ER. But the most interesting thing, I'll say interesting, because I kind of like was maybe I should try it. To smoke a blunt down there, and I was like,
girl, that's wild.
I was like, that might actually be interesting. I didn't do it, but I was like, because it wasn't my husband, and it wasn't even somebody that was close to being.
It was my husband. No, girl.
That's something that even if you're going to consider it, because somebody don't mind doing it, knock yourself out. But I personally don't. I believe that if we did a poll, and maybe after I get bigger and have a bigger platform, I will do it because I want to know the real numbers. I want to know of these things that people talk about, how many have put a perk here or that's not on drugs. Because if you're on drugs already, you will do it. Put a perk here, smoke something. Remember like in 98 when we graduated after Diamond came out, and just let's look at Diamond. She was a sophisticated stripper. People started talking about bottles down there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? So these things have been around for a very long time, but the reality is because of the respect, I think men's brains play with them, and I know women's do, because there are things that women want and they want to try, but they listen to their man saying, oh, this person is a hoe, that person is this. Meanwhile, in the back of their mind, if you turn around and ask the question, oh, but have you done that? Well, I have, but like, that's one of the biggest apologies that I got from my ex. Because he would want certain things, and he never expressed it. That's number one. Because he saw me different. He saw me different, and he didn't want to do anything down to. Child, one night we on our way to the damn casino. I put on a dress because it was the summer, and it had my cleavage showing. And he was like, "Where are you going with that?" And I was like, "We going to the casino," you said. And he was like, not with all that showing. It was just my cleavage, Rose. And you already know who I'm talking about. So later he had to apologize, like, I'm really sorry for not seeing that. You know, I was just, in my mind, my woman at home is not the same as those women out there. And the fact that he did not do a lot of things because he felt like it was so disrespectful. And he was like, I don't want nobody to see you like that. My homeboys talk like this. And so we had to apologize. Like, I didn't never really let you grow into a woman around me. I wanted to keep you in a box and keep you protected and keep you safe, which I can understand, but that's what, it's that fantasy, it's that illusion, it's that idea. And so there are a lot of women that want certain things and they don't feel comfortable talking to their man based on what their man has said. And then there are men that want things that don't want it from their girl. They would cheat. They would prefer to cheat because I'm not ever doing this with you. Because you're the mom of my children. You're my wife. You're my queen. I don't put those two together for this thing. Fantasy. I told you, girl, Mark used to not even speak back to people. Ugh, that is disgusting. Why would somebody do that?
Yeah, it's it.
I don't know what that really looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever gotten no requests like that.
I know somebody that also they're married. They in the church helped them. They had a porn addiction support like therapy or whatever. And I really think certain things are offered in certain areas as well. I stay in a predominantly Caucasian area and neighborhood, and so the things that are offered in that space is a little different. I don't know if any are offered more in the urban areas, but it's because we don't handle things the way that we should. Kind of like a boy having sex with a 20-year-old when he's 10, we don't treat it the same as if it was a girl and a boy. Like the friends is like, oh man, you got some, so blah, 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 blah. And that child could really feel like and should feel like they were molested because they were, but it's not treated the same.
It's not.
You know,
they
so
say
we
that
don't
all the
offer
time.
that.
They say that all the time. It's not treated the same.
It's bad. I have had males reach out to me like, when you talk about the Me Too things, don't forget about us. And I was like, what do you mean? And that example was given to me that some of them were victims, and they were like, I didn't process it well because, you know, when I told my dad or when I told my friend, it was, oh man, you did what? And so they went along with it, kind of not wanting to be, I guess, shamed or talked about, or was kind of like, I know you're not complaining about that. You better go back and do it again. And they didn't want to. It didn't feel right to them. And so then as adults, when they're looking for help, there's plenty for women, but not for men in our neighborhood. I think it's sad, but that's one of the biggest addictions. According to the stats, I think it's 58%. It's affecting 58% of marriages because the reality is not there. Communication isn't there. Intimacy is lacking because that male lacks what real intimacy is. They're looking for the fantasy part of the brain to be, but not the intimacy part. So for me, with those being the top three, something I immediately thought of is when women say they haven't had an orgasm.
But I think with that, women deal with that more silent than men deal with their little fantasy fetishes.
No, I mean, it's the result. Like, because the intimacy is lacking because of the addiction of that, maybe that's why because if you think about the things that are done in adult entertainment, it's not making love, it's the latter. So if your man is not making love to you, you're not connecting, or you're feeling like, so if he's not connecting to you because intimacy isn't in him, getting that fantasy part is in him, not the making her happy, not the pleasure part, then maybe that's why so many are not having orgasms.
Yeah, because they used to watching it, like you said, they used to watching that porn, and they're not doing that on there. Y'all need to start watching the movies. Man, y'all get it right. On the movies, they doing it right. On that porn, they ain't doing it right. They just, girl, I hate porn. Like,
in and out.
It's just ridiculous. I don't know.
But it's not going nowhere. And now with social media, and like for instance, I put up the post for our show, and it clearly says the hashtag is porn addiction. That's under medical, that's under therapy. Do you know it got taken down? And so I disputed it, like, no, I'm not talking about anything like inappropriate. This is for awareness. They still said no. But I swipe right up and there goes 𝒀𝒏𝒏𝒐𝒏. How is that okay? You're contributing to this industry. Let me see. $12 billion industry. And might I add. Let's throw the Melanin Madam part in there. Ready? Over half of it is plus size.
I didn't know that.
Thought y'all said,
Look, I'm like, I didn't know that.
Thought y'all said y'all didn't want it. You such liars. Okay. All right.
Bro, I sure didn't know that.
Yes, over half. And the industry is really, really growing. And it was more, so it makes up the internet. That makes up 5% of the website, but it pulls in more traffic. It pulls in 30% of the traffic is how much that kind of stuff is typed in.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy. They love us. I don't know why they try to find
it's crazy because I never knew that. Like, not because of the size or anything. It's just I literally never knew that. I guess because I've never even thought about it because I don't watch it.
So I don't
people talk about it. The way people talk about, plus size women, I wouldn't think the numbers was, more than half, because they act like they would never mess with nobody like that. So that's why I'm surprised.
So I posed the question: how many plus size women do you know that don't have kids? They usually got 2, 3 baby daddies. That's your little secret, the one you go to, the one you love on. That's your safe haven. That's who you actually want to be with. What I don't understand is how come men can't be, how are women stronger than men? In that, if you like my man, I don't care if you like him. If your family like your man, you don't care if your family like him. You be like, this is my man, this is who I love, blah, blah, blah. How many men stand up like that? How many men will even tell their friends, first of all, it's not your friend's business if they find attractive who you are dating. How many of y'all are screwing her? How many of y'all is being with her? I didn't know that people had to agree with who you like. You like it, you love it. I've had men tell me they did not want me. I had men stop talking to me when I lost weight.
Really?
I had one tell me, I had one tell me that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't ask you for that. I didn't ask you if you asked me. I didn't say I was doing it for you. They automatically think everything we do is for them. No, doing it for me. He was not having it. He was like, that's what did he call it? A pre-existing medical condition. There's something wrong with my brain. I was like, whatever. But yes, Jeff, these men be lying. You like who you like. That's just point blank, period. I don't understand because, like I said, how many of these women that you have not had relationships? They've had relationships, but unfortunately, because of social, I guess, or whomever, because you don't have the balls to stand on your own 2 feet, you didn't marry her, and that's probably the person you really want to marry, which I think also leads into some of them. There's men that cheat on their smaller wives or bigger women, but they only talk away because you married the one that would be the one you should be with. You were in love with, craving, have the best time with the other one, so you keep cheating. I got exes that asked me to continue messing with them, even though I'm married. I know you said you're getting married, but what kind of low damn self-esteem? Shit is real. They willing to go to hell for plus size pussy.
Bro, I don't have nothing to say.
Y'all know this must be big because Rose don't shut up. Rose normally be like, no, man. And to be clear, at first, I used to be so, because some of these things were said to me, because some of these things were offered, just to be clear, I am that type of woman that those things are disrespectful to me. Those are the things that was disrespectful to me. Those were things that was insulting to me, embarrassing. Those type of things actually messed with me mentally, making me think that because I'm plus size, is that all I'm ever going to be? Is nobody going to want me just for themselves? Because I dated for a long time, went out in public, all of that. I wasn't nobody's damn secret, but you didn't marry me. You didn't. And then when you did get married, you still asking if we could still be together. Huh? Like, that's not.
I think that's just men in general. You know, they asses is selfish.
But Ro, it was embarrassing. So when you guys are hearing some of these stories for the first time that I'm openly willing to share now, I didn't repeat them because I was really embarrassed. Like, why would you think that? And I don't mean just, oh, can you be on the side? I mean, oh, I'll pay for you to go to school. Oh, I'll pay your rent. Oh, I'll pay this. No, that hurt my feelings bad. It hurt my feelings bad for a very long time. But it wasn't just one. So it makes you think, like, is this it for me? But I don't understand these things. And oh Lord, broken myself up. Porn is one of the biggest things impacting life. But what I really, really, really just don't understand is that if you are a man, you know what you like. What are you gonna say to your daughter? There's some of these men that I look back at now, and their daughters are fat. So what do you say to your daughter when what she's thinking is, well, you know, this is what daddy is saying, this is what daddy is saying he wants. If you say these things, I'm somebody's daughter. So when somebody says these things to your daughter that you have said to me, what are you going to say? When she literally doesn't feel good about herself because she heard you and her uncles, which is your friends, talk about that whole bitch, that fat bitch, that this. How is your child supposed to feel that? Because they don't. Right. Just to be clear, when you hear that, your brain doesn't tell you, "Oh, I'm exempt." Your brain tells you when you look in the mirror, "That's me." And now you think that your dad doesn't like you or prefer you, or your uncles, or if they find you disgusting, then how can somebody else? Mm-hmm. They hear what you're saying. So how is any of that okay? And it's all a fantasy anyway. Half of y'all with these high expectations can't even afford them. You can't afford them. You don't match what you're asking for. You don't offer the same thing. So if you were to ask her to suck a bottle down her, and why is it everything that's asked is something that's harmful to a woman? What name one thing that's out there that's exotic that could potentially harm a man? They're not asking for those. They want you to put stuff up places, suck things down, this, include other people.
I would be like, let me do you first.
That Courtney did. Kourtney Kardashian did. Remember when she started doing that to Scott?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me do you first. That would be my first thing. Let me do you first. Let me do you first.
But she had asked him told him so many times, no, no, no. And it was always funny when he kept trying to persuade, bully. I don't know. He wouldn't let it go with her. He came home and she was cutting that cucumber or whatever it was. And she was like, I was thinking. Right away, he turned all red and looked like embarrassed and looked offended. Well, how come we can't be offended?
And we should, but it's be so many people doing that nasty mess. I wish I would. Like, it ain't that serious. No, go find you somebody. Go pay somebody to let you do that to them. Because you ain't about to do it to me. Go pay somebody. Because you believe me, you're gonna pay.
You're gonna pay a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe they charge based on what you ask for.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're gonna pay a lot for that. So,
and they don't want it because they know that several people have done it with that person. Oh, so you want to just take me? Y'all be having a lot of standards, man. You want it to be pure, authentic, only yours. And then what are you giving in return? That's all I want to know. What are you giving? What compromises on, because you guys call it compromises. What compromises on that level are you reaching? Because some of these things, depending on the woman, and I'm not doing a blanket statement because there's some things that are okay with some people and some that are not. But if I tell you that I deem something demeaning, you shouldn't even want it anymore. You should love me more than you love that, because that's one thing out of 80 million thousand other things that you could do. But it's like you get fixated on that, and now she is denying you something. But what do you provide her that's on that? What would you do to demean yourself for her?
Nothing. Men ain't gonna do that because they feel like it's just women that's supposed to do that.
But why? Because in these courses, we see the same thing. You don't see men doing things that they shouldn't, well, that are extravagant. If you do, it's usually male on male, and they're not watching that. Why? Why does it male on male for that? But for what?
Y'all want us to do it.
How? I don't understand.
Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
And that's why there is a group of a certain type of woman that be like, yeah, my husband could go do that with.
Give them open passes. What is it? An open
come
pass?
back, take a test, get clean, and then, yeah, but this, you can have that pass. You can have that, because if it's that extreme to you, but if you, I know people that have said that, and all of a sudden it's, you would let me go out there and do that? What do you mean? You've been on my nerves for all of this time saying this is what you want. I'm saying no, and I gave you an option to go do it, since everybody does it, right?
Yeah, they do.
Then go. Since everybody does it, it should be no problem for you to go get it. Now I'm telling you, well, go do it. And now you don't want to, but you would cheat and do it. But I'm telling you, go do it.
That you can have an open pass. Who was it? That last person that Toya? That was the last person I think I knew. She was giving her husband an open pass. I think once a month or something, he can go out.
Whatever works for you in your relationship, depending on
I guess whatever works for you.
Because the need can sometimes outweigh what you're willing to do. And some people, that's a compromise that they're willing to make. So, yeah. But most of the men that well, since this is what you want, to your point, I'm giving you the pass, is, well, I don't, saying all this stuff, and I'm thinking, but if you say it's all the time done, then that means you should be able to get it. No problem. Remember, you could just leave me and go get it. So I'm telling you,
go on and get it, buddy. Go on and be free.
Urge, right? And you
go spread your wings. Go spread your
all wings. All of a sudden, nigga got attitude. I'm just tired. How are you tired? I gave you an option.
I gave you that hall pass, that young hall pass. Go on.
You don't want it. It's not that you want it from me. It's that you don't want to pay for it, number one. And it's not that easily accessible, number two. You just trying to manipulate me to do it and bully me. And I'm sticking like firm. No, I'm not doing that. And
but I do think that wives should do certain stuff so their husband wouldn't want to go out, but you need to draw the line somewhere. Like if they got fetishes and stuff like that, then that's where you draw the line. Because I'm gonna be like, let me do it to you. But I do feel like some women be too
rigid. Too rigid.
Yeah. And I don't think that they should be like that. Like, that's your husband, so you should, if that's something he want to do, then do it, unless it's too outrageous, then no. But I think that's why a lot of women get it cheated on in their marriages, or even in relationships too, because they like that. They're not open to try new things.
But if she was like that in your relationship, I think that the same way that men could need therapy and help for the addiction, there are some, because women are taught the opposite, right? Some women are taught, that's not of God. You're not supposed to do that. That's not respectful. All of these things that women are brainwashed with so that they don't do them. But then when they get married, it's like, oh no, do anything with your husband. But you condition this person to believe that these things would go. And again, as the women are talking, you're talking about these things like they're not okay. Then all of a sudden you tell them once they're getting married or something, oh, I do that, I'm grown. Now you're telling them the real answer. But they're already conditioned like this. So they may need to go to therapy or to see how they can openly communicate with their partner so they can start doing certain things. Because I believe if some women would just try a little bit and then you see that you like it, and you might bust her wide open. You might be running from her. Right. I think she may need therapy for that part. That should be included in marriage counseling too. Opening up those the communication of sex and how that should look. Because
you really should talk about that before you get married. Like, so many people don't talk about stuff before they get married, and then when they get married, it's like, oh, you want to do this? Y'all should have talked about that before y'all got married.
And
y'all should have talked about that way before you got married.
But you think that, right? Everybody has different thought process. You think that these are things you don't talk about until you're exclusive with someone or getting married. But again, if you've been this way your whole life, you're not, in order to be like that, you generally stay away from things. So it's not in you at all. You don't have those type of discussions. For some, it's uncomfortable. And if any of those things have to do with being violated, then you need to discuss how to make, it could be on both sides, man or woman. You need to discuss how to open up that space of trust. Because I don't trust you, and once I could trust you, but not trust in a particular space. And that may be the space that I need. And having these different experiences, because being violated, you shy away from certain things and you don't really do them, but you would if you trusted the person. But you have to trust that person is going to be patient with you. When it's a woman being talked to and a man was violated, he needs to trust that you're not going to look at him less than a man when he opens up about this thing. There's so many layers. You don't just jump in the bed. And again, that's why I believe jumping in the bed and porn, you're trying to stay away from emotion. That's easy. Just jumping in the bed with somebody, that's easy. People don't want to put the work in that's needed. Yeah. Everybody got a story, and everybody needs their partner to help them with that story to feel comfortable to explore different things. Because you don't think that person is lacking too? The one that's on the other side of that person that is addicted to porn and they know their partner is, and they're looking like, well, I would want to try those. The person talks, some talk as if they just watch it, but would not want to do those things. But you looking at it like, you're making me watch it with you. I want to do those things. Why can't we? Right. But you're not going to speak up. Communication as it relates to intimacy is probably, well, according to the stats, that was the first problem with being addicted to that, is that it makes communication lack. If you don't have communication and intimacy in a relationship, was it a Band-Aid? Did you ever really meet the person?
Right.
You didn't even know themselves.
But that's why they be saying you don't really know a person until you move in with them. But it's just, I don't know. If you're addicted to something, I'll be wondering, how can you mask that? If you're around a person so much, how are you able to mask that?
Maybe you hide and do it places that they are not, or you wait till they go to work, or
but if you addicted, how are you able to stop yourself?
Well, you're not addicted in that you just like you jump on a machine. Like a person that is addicted to drugs, they don't just do it back to back to back to back all day. Some people, some of our bosses is addicted to drugs. I have one, and you can't just do it all day. You condition yourself to do it at certain times because you need to be around other people.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah.
And like on the movies, we see that like the woman will walk in and catch the man in the bathroom or come home early and think he's cheating and he really in there doing that. And she's like, I've been asking to have sex for X. You've been saying you tired and I come home and I see why you tired. And then they get all upset. That's what they be doing in the movies. I don't know. I don't know. But all of this stuff, I promise, kids don't understand. You have it so easy being a kid. What do? Go to school and come home and do chores? You become a grown up and it's a law and a rule and a layer to everything. It's not enough time in a lifetime. That's all I can say. Especially with people being such liars and not being upfront. Because you think you're working through something and you don't work through it only this time. You either wasted all this time working on this and it was really this. Why couldn't you just tell the truth so we could work on that? Well, I didn't want you to leave me. Oh, so you lied on top of a lie. Jesus.
And lying for no reason.
Because if I'm going to leave you, then that means I'm not the one for you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to lie to me.
You should
be able to tell me everything.
I think that's why people be insecure also, because you're not yourself, and then you in this relationship, and the whole time you know that you're not that person, and y'all having conversations, and you hearing how they talking about what they don't agree with, which is a part of you that really is, not even thinking in your head, love makes you compromise with certain things. So yes, I can love it and stand strong on it now because I've stayed away from it. But if I'm in love with you and that's something that is a part of you, then I'm going to learn more about it and see if I can adapt. But if not, that's that person's right to not want that in their lives.
Yeah. Well, I don't want nobody that's addicted. I don't want nobody that's addicted to nothing else. I don't think I could. I don't want to have to deal with that.
I don't want to have to deal with anything that's so addicting that it compromise life. Like I love shopping and I'm borderline addicted, but I'm never going to be addicted to where it affects my bank account. I don't pay my bills, like those type of addictions. Because we all have addictions. That's things that we do in excess of what we really should do. I don't know why my face is itching like this. My nose is red. I look like Rudolph. It's big too right now. But
see, I don't know nothing that I'm addicted to. I think I literally, when people say that, like everybody's addicted to something, I literally cannot think of something that I'm addicted to. Like I literally can't think of nothing.
So an addiction is anything that is difficult for you to pass up, anything that you do too much. Some people is addicted to chocolate.
No.
It's just an addiction. But that's why I said just addictions that impact my livelihood, my health, my safety. Those, shopping is an addiction. Look at hoarders. The ones that shop so much that their house, that's the bad part, right?
Yeah.
That's the bad part. Or a wife that keeps you guys in debt because she keeps blowing out the credit card. And you keep having to pay, so you never get ahead. You never save. That's an addiction. So that's why I say addiction is what it is. But when it gets to the point that it is impacting your livelihood, your safety, your health, that's where if you want to be better, not even if you want to, because not everybody addicted to drugs wants to do it. And they want to be better, but it requires a certain level of strength to be unaddicted to anything that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
That's why I just pray for people. I pray for people and I pray for myself that I didn't land in a relationship that was somebody addicted to drugs, somebody that I would catch watching child stuff, somebody that drinks too much so they hit. It's just like we talked about on the previous show, sometimes you be like, well, at least it's not like you try to be like, it could be all these worse things because everybody does have something that somebody else doesn't like. That's why you need to know what are your deal breakers so that you're not surprised when life throws them at you or you know how to look out for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. I literally don't got an answer for this.
Because you have to get, it's like, because these type of addictions is the equivalent of somebody that excessively eats. You need food to live, but you're gets you to where mobility is lost, different things like that. If there is nothing wrong with you, you can't put a blanket over everything. Everybody fat is not addicted to food. Some people have steroid issues, things like that. That's why it's not fair. And nobody owes you a damn explanation. But the point is, not every addiction that you see is exactly face value the way that you see it. So when you see somebody that watches porn, don't start running away from being posting on the internet. That nigga was addicted to porn. You saw him watch a video and he asked if you wanted to. The answer is yes or no. But he didn't say that he can't. What was that? I think that was Sex in the City where the Miranda was dating a guy. It was Miranda or Charlotte was dating a guy and he literally had to position himself to where he could see the TV when they were doing it, or he couldn't do it.
Now, see, something like that would piss me off.
That was one on Sex in the City. It was a whole segment on it. Or a whole
Yeah, that would piss me off because I would be feeling like, so you more worried about the TV than me? Because if I can't turn you on and you got to watch the TV, then get up. Shit.
So you just want my body to
But you want to look at the
mentally
TV.
fit. Exactly. No intimacy. You don't care if I have an orgasm. You don't care if I like it. Because you're literally you are to you in your head, you are in that.
And that's right there is a whole nother topic because I really do feel like a lot of men don't know how to pleasure a woman.
They don't.
I really don't think that they do. And some of them you can't say it's their fault because they never was taught, but maybe some men want to learn and women can tell them like, I like this or you should do this, but some men don't care as long as they get theirs off. They don't care about the woman.
And that's what the problem is, the ones that don't care. Because but I don't like it. I like something that's different. Did you ever ask me what I wanted? Those are red flags I'll look for. If you don't ask me what I like, if you're not open enough to ask me, did I like it? If you're not paying attention to if I'm laying there like I'm dead. See, you don't care about me, sir. And you have a problem. And the problem is, I'm not for you. And I'm okay with that. Because, no. How am I supposed to be open? How am I supposed to be willing to try things or any of that stuff if we haven't gotten to the part where I know you see me? If you can't do the regular things that some of y'all been doing since elementary school playing hide go get it and you ain't gotten that right yet, how am I supposed to keep overly giving of myself?
That's true.
Tell him.
Laura, your husband probably like, what is you in there watching?
Laura, girl, just tell him. Tell him to come in and tell us what we should do, child. Or the people that's listening. I don't have this problem. But tell them to come in, child, and tell us what to tell the men. Because that is the logic. If you've been doing all of these things and you've been promiscuous, which by the way, they only use that word with women, not men. If you've been doing all of these things since you've been playing house when you shouldn't have, ditching school, all of this stuff, then please explain to me how you don't know how to please a woman. What do you mean nobody taught you? I didn't know that people taught us. I thought we taught each other in our different experiences. So if you got a college roll paper of people's names on front and back, 4 of them is your baby mamas, 8 kids, how the hell you don't know yet and y'all always get to hide behind? Well, nobody ever taught me that. Nobody taught
Because some of them, but like I said, some of them don't care. Some of them think just because they stuff is big that they doing something, and you ain't doing nothing but sometimes basically hurting a woman. Like you
You
ain't
don't
doing
even know
nothing.
what to do with the thing. Or
Yeah,
the
you
worst
just
part,
gotta
you are
do something big
disappointed.
for nothing.
I can't even feel it. How about that?
Wow. Yeah. Look,
How about that? And let me just tell you, okay? I'm mental, okay? Because I got snapback. I'm just trying to tell you. I could feel a Q-tip, okay? So if I'm laying there dead, it's you. It's not me. Bro. Did I send you what a guy sent me yesterday morning?
That what?
Did I send you what the guy sent me yesterday morning? It was a picture of his pecker to say good morning.
I hate those. I've just never been a girl that liked those deep pictures. I've never
First of all,
liked
it's on
them.
my business page. I'm never gonna like it. And I'm
Even if I'm with you, I'm not that girl that wants those deep pictures. I just, boy, put that away.
When you get here.
Like, boy, put that away when I see you, then that's fine. But I've never been that type to like those pictures. And then I feel like with men, if you sending that to me, who else you sending that to? I just don't like those pictures.
Because why did I need a picture of it? It's mine.
Yeah.
Why did I need a picture?
That do not do nothing for me. That literally don't do nothing for me. Sir, why are you sending me this? I need to report you. I need to report this.
I'm about to because it hasn't stopped since then. And I did not respond. That's typically what I did. So on the Madam page, that's what most of my messages look like that are on Facebook. On Instagram, they're more business. And I'm able to filter those ones out. So they go to a particular where you could send the messages that if you're not friends with somebody, like stuff like that, or if they have keywords, I have those going to a particular folder because to your point, I don't even want to see them. And depending on how I feel that day, it makes me feel violated. So I don't like to see them. So now I just have them going over there. And yesterday I removed 20 messages.
Sir, I'm reporting you. I'm reporting you, sir. You and your little raggedy thing.
I just don't even understand. My cousin Kiki gonna talk about send them your Cash App.
Yeah, if you want to be sending that, then yeah, I would, girl. She said right, and I'm still gonna report you.
Why do you agree with her? I'm not sending. I don't even have Cash App number one. Even if I did, I'm not sending him my Cash App.
Your Venmo or Zelle.
If I send him that, then he gonna think I'm supposed to accept his pictures all the time.
Yeah, that'll be the only way I'll accept them. And I'm still reporting you. I hate those.
This false reality.
I guess that's an addiction to sending those. Yeah.
Oh. Or because they're trying to be your fantasy? Or they want you to say that they want you to compliment them on it?
I guess so.
Is it kind of like the girls that post with their butt like this?
Yeah, because it's gonna be a girl that falls for it. So it might not be you, but they send them to somebody else and they might fall for it.
So what happens like when they send you a picture like that because they're trying to be Facebook porn star? Then am I supposed to say, "Oh, that looks nice," and then they say, "Oh, do you want to have sex?"
I don't know what you're supposed to say. That question is beyond me. You're asking me a lot of questions that I really don't have the answers to.
You're really not helping me tonight, bro.
Because I'm just like, I know nobody's ever asked me to do these things. Ain't nobody sending me no deep pictures online or nothing.
What? I like this eyelash better than this eyelash. Because you talking nonsense.
Nobody don't say that. I think it, and then I can filter out a lot of my stuff, but nobody send me stuff like that. So I guess I
So
should feel honored.
my question is, then I have two questions before we go because I'm hungry. Um, you've never been asked nothing. What's the thing that you've been asked to do that you was like, are you out of your mind?
Mm,
Can somebody drop it in the comments if they have one? Men think by
yeah,
sending a picture of their D, an invitation. I think so too. That's why I'm afraid. Because what if I'm out in public or something and something happens to me like what happened to Suki? Like they take it too far because some people can have fantasies of you in their head and then they stalk you or they think they could do certain things. Women have to be more smart because you already have to protect yourself, but to have like an open invitation out there because you fed into something, it's not worth it to me. It's
I
not worth
think
it.
the only thing I can think, but it wasn't. Wow, most men ask that is for threesomes, but ain't nobody asked me to put no blunt in my stuff and all that, no beads and none of that. No, nobody's ever asked me to do that crazy stuff.
Hmm. So
Ain't
yes,
nobody ever asked
so
me
you're
that.
better than the rest of us. Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
I said so you're better than the rest of us. It's
I
hard to
guess
you help
so.
people
Look,
out.
look, I'm like, I guess so.
I'm not even mad. Just tell us how.
I guess I'm a
That's
little
it.
princess. I'm a little
Just
princess.
tell us how.
I really don't know. Ain't no men. I'm literally trying to think. Like, let me go back to my wild days, and I'm really trying to
I
think. Like,
have days. So I
huh?
could, you know what? I wonder if that's it because I don't have wild days because there are these, because what people think like she don't do nothing. Then when they get with me and see that I don't, they're like, "Oh, you for real? Be on your shit." Yes. Then I think they try to be the first.
I don't know what it. I don't know. Then I don't know why people ain't never asked me that. I think the most is niggas ask for threesomes, but
So my
that's
ex
regular.
didn't, my husband never has. My ex didn't.
For a threesome.
No. And then most of
Oh
mine
well, I
haven't.
guess that's where ours is different.
Nope. Jamal
That's where it's
didn't.
different.
Jamal didn't disrespect me. But I think I also have conversations at the beginning. Like, this is my hard stop list. Like, don't even ask me. If you ask me these things, I won't be with you no more because I'll feel like now you're going to start to try to pressure me to do something that I already told you. It's only like three things on there. But now I need to update my list based on the current open up of all this shit you can do.
I think
Um,
it just depends, like you said, have the conversation in the beginning. So
yeah.
some men just gonna ask just because. Oh, have you ever did that? Would you want to try it? So you either gonna say yes or no. But that's the only thing I literally can think of. I can't think of no other crazy stuff like that.
Let me see something. I'm about to see something. Well, if you were asked, what are some of the things that if you were asked to do them, you would not do them?
Like what? You gotta ask me because I really ask
Okay,
me one.
hold on. If you were asked for a threesome, would you do it
Um,
with a husband?
Not with my husband.
Why would you not do it with your husband?
Because I'm not about to share my husband with nobody. I could do it
Okay.
with somebody that not saying that I don't like, but that I don't really see no future with. I could do it with them, but not with my husband. No.
I,
And I wouldn't do that now, but the younger Rashonda would for
okay.
sure.
That's a common answer, actually. Most
Yeah.
women would not do it with somebody, which proves the part where there are things you do not want to do with your partner because that is a sacred space
Yeah,
versus
I'm about to watch you, and then that's opening up to me Pandora's box to
Pandora's
your
box.
husband. I'm not about to do that with my husband, but I'll do it with somebody y'all kicking with that I'm cool with, that we vibing and all that. But I know we ain't about to be that. Yeah, we could do that if I wanted to do that. Yeah.
I would do it with like an ex because not any of mine now. But I'm saying if I had to put my list together, it would be exes of ones that you slept with because that would make. Oh, I'm not gonna play with you. So said that question's for you.
Wait, your phone, your thing went out. Let me see if I can see the camera. What you say?
It says if your husband asks you to eat his, would you?
Hell no. I hope we don't get in trouble for saying hell.
No.
Hell no.
Get the hell.
Hell. And if you ask me to do that, nigga, you're gay. Yeah.
I got questions. We need to have a talk.
That's right there. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw. Precious,
You
why
want me
would
to
you
put
ask?
my mouth
Look,
where?
I'm like, so why would you ask your aunties those questions?
Because she is an active participant on the show. She is not
Right, she is.
she is not your niece right now, and she has questions, and she's just asking random questions because we wanted to pick three. We want to pick three questions. So
Okay, say another question. Let's pick
yeah,
another
so
question.
you pick the last question. I can't with you. Um, leave it to her. Leave it to her. Child, listen, it's a list of things, but like I said, I need to update them because there's so many things that I'm hearing of that is like, you really would do that. But just to be clear, it would actually, the list would be knocked down if I'll start with, if it's anything that includes some, there we go.
What'd she say?
She said, that's something guys ask. They do?
I,
And yo,
I have heard that a lot. I have heard that a lot of guys nowadays act that like they like that lick too. They like that lick too. But to me, that's gay. I don't care what nobody say. Now it's different from you getting your. I don't know what we can and can't say.
what are you trying to do?
The things under their private part.
Their penis?
No, under their penis.
Their balls.
Yeah. Oh, we can't say balls.
Because there's balls at basketball. It's like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now a lot of guys like their balls licked and sucked. That's different than from getting your that part.
I just don't think nothing should occur back there, no matter what porn
But
says.
but the balls part is different.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing from the back. If it's in the front, that's your male
Oh
part.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
your. But all that. But a lot of guys do ask. I think they do now ask for they stuff to get. They say it feels like the ladies say the reason why guys start liking that because ladies start doing it to them. So now they know what it feels like and they like it. But I'm not doing that. Ain't no way we can get a divorce if you want that. I'm
That's
not gonna
why
do
I
it.
believe you just shouldn't try certain things. It's Pandora's box. That's like saying it. I'm pretty sure that if half of us with the problems that we have and things like that, if we went with the narrative that get most people undressed, if you take this, you will feel better. You can escape it. It's not the question of if it will feel good or not. It's the question of is that right?
Yeah,
That's why you
it's
stay
just
away
certain
from
things you
some
can do
things.
with certain, like you said, certain stuff you could do with people and certain things you couldn't. That would, like I said, my husband, no, ain't no threesome with my husband. But people you kick it with, yeah, I didn't did stuff to where I didn't took ecstasy and stuff before just to see what
What
things
it
would
would
feel
do.
different. Yeah, what it would do, how it would feel different, and all that. We can't even do that now. I would be scared to do that now. All this fentanyl and everything. And that's why I said the old Rashonda would have did those things, not the 43-year-old Rashonda, because I'm scared. I'm scared now. It's just too much. I'm not licking you back there. I'm not taking no ecstasy pill with you. I don't even know if they have ecstasy pills still. Like, I'm not doing none of that stuff now. Like,
I am not buying nothing I can't get at a medical dispensary. And that's why I'm saying you know better, you do better. If you find out shit and you get scared. That's why you stop doing shit. That's why you're not, I'll do it, because you see, wait a minute, that could happen, and then you see it happen a lot. You like, no,
I'm
this is too
good.
much.
Back in the days, you was on it. Back in the days, it was cracking. Right.
I'll probably take an ecstasy pill and be laid up. Asia, what happened? I gave myself a heart attack, wondering if it was going to
even do that. I wouldn't care if they were selling it in the pharmacy now. I wouldn't do it. I just don't trust nothing now. I just don't trust nothing now. But back in the days, yeah, I would have. Just so you know,
I don't trust it back in the day, because I saw like raves happening at Pomona or whatever, and people was like dying at the raves and stuff. Not knowing.
See, I would have never seen none of that.
But
so again, now all y'all gonna get out of me is some liquor. Y'all better buy me some good liquor if that's gonna make me feel the same way.
Period.
You better buy me some good liquor. That's because I'm not smoking nothing. I just don't smoke. You wouldn't even want me to. You're not gonna even want me to smoke, because I'm gonna start hallucinating. You're gonna be ready for me to go home. So you're not gonna want me to smoke with you anyways. So you ain't gonna want me to smoke. I'm gonna make your whole mood go away. You're gonna be ready for me to go home, because I'm gonna be tripping. So you're not gonna want me to be smoking with you either.
Wrap up the show. That comment right there. Everybody can't do everything. So everybody's not doing everything. So if that's something you really, really want from your partner, is for them to smoke with you, you would not be able to be with her. She can't. So it's not fair the way that society and these songs make you believe that everybody does all of these things. First of all, medically, psychologically, physically, everybody can't do everything.
They can't. Everybody, it affects everybody differently. Everything affects people differently.
It does. And that's what you just need to calm the hell down. Is it really, y'all need to start falling in love with people and what they bring to the table. And then the other things are extra layers that you can have fun with or enjoy life with. But those shouldn't make or break a marriage. They shouldn't make or break a friendship, because there are some friends that treat you crazy if you don't do certain things. That's not fair, because it's not reality. Stop looking at a 30-minute TV show or a 20-minute directed porn and thinking that that's a real story. That was a fantasy in somebody's head that they used. No different than a commercial that made you believe.
You just have to improvise that. Just improvise and do something else that they like. Like, it's other stuff that they do on there that you can do, but I'm not about to do that, sir. No, I'm not about to do that, sir.
And if you ask, I'm going to question you for the rest of my life, so we shouldn't be together anymore, you nasty.
Yeah. You going to make me want to go look at some now to see what they got on there, because I just don't understand. Like, what do people get out of this? I'm literally going to have to go look at some. Like, did it change or something? Because I never liked it.
So before we came on to get, obviously I looked up the stuff to get the stats. But when you type it in, you don't just get stats. And I've literally put stats, but you get images, you get videos, you get all of these things. That was the other thing. Before.
Oh, she said she knows someone who ate her husband and got a throat infection. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
That was one of the things that came up as well. That adverse reaction of, or not adverse, a bad thing about porn is that people get hurt, people get sick, and
and we about to be on first 48. We're going to be on first 48 after that, because did I get an infection from that? We're gonna be on first 48.
It could simply be because that person, that's not a part of the body that should be touched with your mouth. It don't even mean that it don't mean a sexual infection. It could be just a medical infection.
I don't even care.
Because you're not supposed to be touching.
We still gonna be on first 48.
Listen. So the other thing was, when you're typing in certain things, that because as soon as you type it in, like how the pop-ups come up, And it just starts without you getting permission, verifying you 18, anything like that. So one came up while I was searching. I was like, this don't even look fun. She sounds like she's faking, right? And
that's what I'm saying. It don't look
real to me. If anything, if I could trust, I would rather make my own. And look, if that's
exactly,
I would. I would rather make my own.
It ain't nothing wrong with that.
I would rather make my own and then analyze my damn self.
Yeah, make your own and make sure you keep it, not him.
So hand them your phone, ladies. Don't be stupid. And you put it in a lockbox. Right. But I agree, child. But if I was choosing between the two, I would choose to make my own because it looks so fake. I couldn't imagine why they were getting paid so much. I'm like, it must be those extra trick type things.
Like I feel like I can make one and get better views than this. Like I can make a better video than this.
If we ever want to be millionaires, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And it's
like, I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry, Mama, but we paid now,
Mama, just don't cut on the TV, internet, or nothing for about 30 to 45 days.
Right. Don't let the people at the church tell you nothing about me.
Oh, okay, that's the last one. The ones that are the most offenders are pastors and priests.
And I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to get
say about the man in the closet.
I'm like, because I don't want to get struck down.
That's what I'm saying. Humans are gonna have. I don't care who you are or what you do. Sometimes there is some things that happen, and you weren't a pastor all your life. And if that entered your life when you were 6 or 7, that may be the one thing that you were fighting against. But you still may be an amazing pastor and do all of these things. You are still human. So I don't shame nobody. As long as you're not watching it like on the way to the church and you addicted and can't function. But that was the number one offender. So my advice for tonight is stop living in fantasy world because these people singing these songs and writing them, they write them because it's taking your money. They write them because it's getting your interest, but they are not doing those same things. They are doing other things, like regular things. Like I have to pick a kid up from school and being great moms and cooking dinners, and they have on sweats with their hair in a bun. They look like the woman that you originally loved, not that picture that they painted. Half of them don't even know how to do their makeup, which lets you know they're not doing it every day. That's for production. How about that? And stop asking for more than what you could give. And I don't mean give in the same realm either.
Right.
Okay. What's your advice? Bro.
Huh?
What's your advice?
Oh, girl, I'm trying to get this boy out of here. That's why I'm like, turned it off. My advice is what I said before. I feel like, well, as far as addiction, I mean, I don't know what to say because I've never dealt with it in real life, so I don't know what to say. But I would say if you found out about it, then maybe talk to the person and see how you can help them with that sexual addiction, whatever they're going through. See if you're in a relationship with them, what can I do to help you with it? What can I do to improvise or help you get past this where you don't have to watch this all the time? What do you need me to do? Now, I'm not going to do, like I said, I'm not about to do none of this crazy stuff, but let's try to improvise here.
Right.
Like we said, make your own movie. Make your own movie. You can now, if you want to watch that all day, I think I'll feel more better.
Oh my God, bro. That's like saying if I pick the drugs for you, I don't care if you do drugs. No, you want to help them with the addiction so you get to a healthy state.
You looking at me, so it's different. Don't ask me for my advice for this because I'm not good for this one. I don't know.
No, you gave good advice. If a resolve would be, right, because you don't just stop things black and white, if a resolve because you're trying to bridge the intimacy and them connecting to a real person, that might that because the person that they are now seeing is you. So if it helps them connect that you are the person that can also be on the screen, it may go to the relationship and slow it down because, damn, it ain't just on screen. This is actually mine. I can go home and be this person. So it may actually help to bring them out of the fantasy piece because it's not no more. Now is you have options with the person. So no, I think that's a good one. I was just messing with you. So that is it from us tonight. Thank you for joining. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications when we are going to go live. Next week, we have an announcement from Rose. We'll wait until then. We have an announcement from Rose, but in the meantime, go and follow her page. It is up, Talk to Rose, as well as waiting for the announcement. And Rose, what do you?
I'll wait till next week.
Yeah, we'll wait until next week. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. If nothing else, go and look up some of these things. If you are somebody that needs help, get help because your partner needs you. I can guarantee you're not showing up in the relationship if you're giving all of this time and attention to yourself. And your person deserves to get your affection and your full attention. And you deserve to feel what the real feeling, not the fantasy, feels like as well. So that is it. And everybody have an amazing night. I'm going to cook these crab legs and live my best life tonight.
And I'm about to go watch the documentaries all night until I fall asleep.
What documentary?
Girl, I've still been watching them documentary on that submarine that went underwater. I've been watching it every night. Now, okay, I'm addicted to that because I've been watching it every day, all day. I've been watching it. That's my addiction right now, everybody. Okay, but everybody have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.
What the fuck is it gonna take to